Enslavement of undocumented immigrants in Mississippi. This is from the 2025 session. This is happening right now. And you don't have to take my word for it. It's right there. It's in the bill.
Okay, today has been a lot of really hard news, and forgive me if my feelings are like right on the surface during this video. I said I was going to limit how much political content I chose to put on social media. I was going to pick and choose carefully, and believe me, the few videos that I've made, that is me picking and choosing because it is just a complete tidal wave. And I think any other videos I make today, I am going to talk about more hopeful subjects because I think we need balance, but we cannot turn a blind eye to what is happening. We cannot become complacent. I practice permaculture and my ethics are earth care, people care, and fair share. Choosing to bear witness to what is happening now, not to look away from it to protect our own feelings, that is people care. Refusing to let the inundation of horrible, horrible news be normalized for you, to let it numb you. Continuing to speak out, to speak truth to power, to remind everybody in our nation of what is real, what is true, what is just, despite the fact that horrible, awful violations are being normalized. We can't let these be unspeakable things. We need to speak on them. And this is one that I said it was coming. And I know many, many other folks have as well. We live in a capitalist system where greedy men who can make money off of concentration camps, who can exploit undocumented human beings for their labor in order to make a profit, they will do it. We already essentially have slave prison labor in almost every state in the country. The private prison system is incredibly profitable, and forcing incarcerated Americans to work to make everything from furniture to clothes to bed sheets to appliances. That has been an American way of life for a long time. And there are more products to sell to us, the American consumer, and we need more folks to make those products. We want a competitive workforce instead of having, China make all of those things. How do we have a competitive workforce? We have slave labor. There's not enough in the prison system, despite the fact that we incarcerate more people than any other nation, that our incarceration rate is through the roof. Now there's this giant pool of undocumented folks that are being rounded up by ICE and arrested. And we already know there's going to be tens of thousands of them, if not hundreds of thousands of them, very quickly, who cannot be deported fast enough. There's a backlog. There's going to need to be a place to keep those folks, and they're going to have to earn their keep, right? After all, these entrepreneurs have seen a cash cow and are already creating basically concentration camps to house these folks. I don't care if they call them detainment centers or whatever. We all know what they are. And they'll have big fat government contracts to maintain those. And either the government will expect to be reimbursed by their labor, or those contractors will see a way to gild that lily even further by getting all of the funds from their lucrative government contracts and then contracting out the labor of those folks that they are imprisoning to corporations. Because in this plutocracy, the exploitation of the government and the exploitation of corporations, they're the same thing. They're the same thing. It's two sides of the same coin. This has been the plan all along. We have a declining birth rate and people like Muskie and J.D. Vance begging us to reproduce more, taking away our reproductive freedom so that we're forced to have more babies. But even so, we don't want to have them because who wants to bring children into a world that is this bleak? So how are they going to get more cogs in their machine? How are they going to get more workers? Oh, let's snatch those immigrants out of their schools, out of hospitals, out of churches, put them in camps and put them to work. For the 49% of American voters who voted for this, I don't know how you sleep at night. I don't know how your guts are not twisting up inside. I definitely don't understand how so many of you are delighting in the fact that this is what is happening. For the men who bid on those contracts to have those deportation camps, there's a special place in hell for you. I hope when these dark days are all over that justice is coming for you. For the rest of us, I don't know. We cannot be numb to this. We cannot get demoralized to the point that we stop acting or that we acquiesce. We see what's on the line. We see what's on the line, and this is a good fight worth having. For ourselves, our souls, our conscience, for the rights and safety of our neighbors, for the soul of America. Okay, some clarification here. Please go read the bill. But if you read it, you'll see that it says basically that if folks are detained and they are not deported within 24 hours, they can be charged with felony trespassing, for which there is a sentence of life in prison, where they can be subjected to the prison labor practices used as prison labor for the rest of their lives. There are many reasons that folks cannot be deported within 24 hours. I mean, we're looking right now at a flight of folks that Mexico has turned around, that the Trump administration tried to deport to Mexico, and they won't take them. This incredibly tight turnaround time of 24 hours allows Mississippi to use any delay to charge folks with felony trespassing with the extreme sentence of life in prison. Let's not forget that they spew Christian rhetoric at the same time that they're pushing a bill to enslave undocumented migrants in Mississippi. Go click that video if you want to know more about it. Let's not forget that Southerners in the antebellum South, including in Mississippi, used scripture, used the Bible to justify the practice of enslaving Black Americans. The Bible and verses like "slaves obey your master as unto the Lord" was used as a justification to enslave Black people in the South. There are many, many Christians for whom slavery is not a problem, as long as they are not the ones being enslaved. This is the America that we are living in now. But the truth is more like it is the America that we have always had.